Jimmy Butler, Miami, Jimmy Butler. So much going on with what they're gonna do with Jimmy Butler. But I feel like firsthand off, if Jimmy Butler want to show any type of growth and want to be able to evolve, in other words, with any team, anybody that wanted to be around him as far as teammates, his foreseeable future in the NBA, if he wanted to get traded, I feel like it starts with accountability. Jimmy Butler doesn't have any accountability. I feel like Jimmy Butler feel like he's always the one that's being targeted and people coming at him. And I used to think that until I just started paying closely attention to, you know, what he says and how people may receive it. The whole Memphis Grizzlies thing about him not wanting to go to Memphis. Me personally, I'm like in my mind that nobody even asked for Jimmy Butler to come to Memphis. So I don't even know why that even came out of his mouth. But when I heard that, it pretty much summed up of what Jimmy Butler and everything, everyone that's around him, not wanting to, be in favor of being a teammate to him. And now I'm seeing that, Pat Riley isn't a villain after all. I feel like Pat Riley is somebody that, is fed up with somebody who thinks it's their team and being thinking that he can kind of move how the way he feel like and say what he feel like he want to say at the time he said. It just seems like you're giving off a kind of spoiled brat behavior. And I feel like if you're somebody like Jimmy Butler, you got to really come down off your high horse because you really aren't a franchise player. I mean, personally, Jimmy Butler is a role player that seems as if he's deserving of being treated as if he's a franchise player. And Pat Riley, see the same thing. And it's like, if you even were a franchise player, Pat Riley's from the old school. So it's like when you get somebody from the old school and that really know how to handle situations when it come down to people that's, thinking they this, but they really not. And coming from an era where you have the Michael Jordan, the Magic Johnsons, and things of that sort, the Larry Birds. You've seen all the greats that's great. And then here comes Jimmy Butler thinking that he can, is entitled to however which way he feel like something should go and how he feel like, when he speak on certain things, he feel like it shouldn't be no consequence behind it. Because it's all stemmed from when Jimmy had said something. He was on the bench and he said last season, it was some remark that he made in Pat Riley, I don't want to say checked him about it, but Pat Riley let him know, you don't condone yourself like that as an NBA player, you on the bench. Yeah. Things of that sort of what was regarding whatever that Jimmy was discussing or was saying on the bench, whatever. And he didn't take that too kindly. And it started from that situation and it kind of just dragged along into this season and him not, feeling, like I said, entitled, lack of accountability. And this is the things that are going to hurt him not making any team now you want to play with him. And honestly, I feel like you're going to have to take a player's cut if you want to go on any team, if you want to try to do anything. Because, right now, if you're Jimmy Butler, you got to restart. You got to reset, man. Hit the reset button. As far as how you, your mentality and who you think you are, but you really not. You think you're a franchise player, but you're just a role player. And yes, you led Miami to the finals, I think, twice. You had a team that, contributed and played their parts. And, you being a team player, I'm not going to take that away from them. You led them to the finals twice. So that's understood. I'm not finna be the one to sit up there and try to, say Jimmy Butler is not doing something when I clearly saw him do it. I'm always going to call it a spade. But at the same time, when I'm seeing Jimmy Butler, further from that past that point, and how the way he's carrying himself, off the court, and and just the whole sport, like I said, the spoiled brat behavior, that's not gonna cut it, especially when you're not winning games, and you tend to get distracted, and you tend to not make the focus on what the primary focus should be on, and that's leadership, and not only being a leader, but a leader off the court. uh, leadership is very strong, is much more stronger off the court, which can lead to a better team chemistry on the court. And I feel like Jimmy Butler hasn't been, displaying that because he want to make it all about himself. I mean, as you can see, this guy is like an attention freak. He dyeing his hair, braiding it as if he's a chick, and getting sew-ins and orange, yellow sew-ins and blue hair. I mean, just whole clown fest. It just shows that his attention, he'd rather be, I feel like, on RuPaul's drag queen race than actually be a basketball player. Like, honestly, I feel like he's want to be a cast in a remake of Juwanna Mann instead of like focusing on being a basketball player and just focusing on trying to, get a chip. It's like, I feel like his whole, like, as far as like his characteristics, and listen, whatever your sexuality, whatever you choose, whatever that's cool, but just keep that on your time. I don't feel like that you should be presenting that for the world to see if you're really unsure of your sexuality, if that's the case. Be sure and then present it to the world. Don't be not sure and then presenting it just to get, clicks and views. Because I feel like if you Pat Riley and you looking at that, you're really not, saying to yourself like, man, first of all, what the hell is this guy doing? And second of all, I feel like he's not right in the right mental space to even try to lead a team anywhere. So I feel like already in Pat Riley's mind, he's been thinking about already trading Jimmy Butler because Jimmy Butler, like, he's off into another space. You know what I mean? You don't know if you're going to get a masculine man that's going to, like, help you win a game, or you're going to get somebody that rather dress like and be a cheerleader. And like I said, whatever your preference, but you got to choose a side, because money is being placed on the line when it comes down as far as underdog and prize picks and all that. Like, people are betting on these games, and when you're not being at these games, you're not playing due to reasons of whether it's your attitude or whether niggas out here faking injuries and not wanting to show up and play when fans are looking forward to seeing their stars play. It all comes to effect, and it all makes you look like you are a link that is the weakest link and that need to be removed and replaced by a stronger link. So I ain't trying to go in on Jimmy Butler, but I'm just saying, like, this is how it's being, displayed to the public. And I'm only just responding back to what's being displayed to the public. If you don't want, like, people, like, responding to what's being displayed in the public, quit displaying it in the public. It's simple. And just focus and just be a basketball player. I mean, damn, it's like nowadays, in this era, it's like people like they get this big salary and all this money like getting coming to them, and it's like they just feel like they're entitled to feel like they are just untouchable. Like, this money can all be taken away and they can get traded and they can be out of the NBA by tomorrow. Like, people really got to get their priorities straight. And the only people that act like this are people that really not used to anything. They're not used to having the salary that they're having, so they don't really know how to handle themselves, and they get lazy to the point of feeling like this money gonna last forever. So I don't really know how much Jimmy Butler's salary is, but I feel like it sort of had to play some sort of type of role for him to create this mentality he has to feel like that, all this is gonna last forever. Because NBA is like, just like NFL is not for long, and you really ain't doing a service to yourself. You're more like doing a disservice to whatever legacy that you're trying to create or trying to keep moving because of antics of being, not, I don't know whether it's sure of yourself or sure who you are or who you want to be, or whether it's, what gender role you want to play in. I don't know. But I know that it's not being focused. What's not being focused on is you being a basketball player. And honestly, if this keeps up, he is going to be sent to the G League and out of the NBA. If he still want to play basketball, he going to be in the G League. Because ain't nobody going to want to put up with him. From Chicago to Minnesota. And now, he's in Miami. And who was he? Yeah, so this is not a real good look on your resume when it seems like all fingers point to you because you always want to just, you know, be Jimmy Butler. The other Jimmy Butler, not the Jimmy Butler. But that's all I got to say. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, Sensei Reality News. I'm out. One love. Peace.